Hello everyone! Welcome back to Spiritual Essence. I'm so glad to have you back. So, as you know, I finally got my first Minecraft video up and running, which had been in the editing process for a long time, and I apologize. And there will be more to come, because apparently a lot of you guys like that video. It has over 500 views and counting right now. So that's great that you guys love it so much. And so yeah, I would definitely love to make more Minecraft videos for you. But now that I have that video up, it's time to fulfill an obligation to a friend. So a while back, one of my subscribers reached out to me on my Twitter page, and turns out we had a lot in common. We started talking a lot. We even played Minecraft together, and you know, we're good friends now. And I remember showing him some of my drawings, and he said, "Wow, that's really good. I wish I could draw like that." And I said, "Well, I'd be happy to teach you." And he said, "Yeah, that'd be great." And unfortunately, I have yet to do it. I never got around to it, so I felt so bad. But you know what? Now I'm gonna make this video, and not just for him, but also for anyone else who wants to learn how to draw. I would be happy to teach you. You don't need much. Pad of paper, sharp pencil, and a pencil sharpener just in case. And to my side, I have a lot more pencils and pencil sharpeners in case one of them breaks. So when it comes to artists, every artist has their own way of doing things. I've seen many different artists draw many different things. Some draw more realistic and some draw more cartoonish. My art would fall under the cartoonish spot. I do have books on how to draw manga. Unfortunately, I have not read them yet, but I do want to learn how to draw manga someday, which is more on the spectrum of more realistic, yet somewhat cartoonish. So, I have never been one to draw realistic like. It's not that I don't want to, because, I mean, I have for art class because it was part of the assignment, but my drawing more stands from cartoonish looking things. Now, ever since I was little, I've always drawn monsters, ghosts, creatures. That has been my favorite thing to draw. I remember even drawing Pokemon for a little while, but what got me started is that when I was little, I watched Yu-Gi-Oh! When it used to be on Kids WB, and that was awesome. I used to love watching that. In fact, I have the first generation on DVD right now that I do like to watch from time to time, but it has always interested me, the characters and the creatures and the monsters. I love it. I've been more drawing on the computer, on Photoshop, but from time to time I will draw on a piece of paper. So my speciality is drawing creatures and monsters, witches, ghosts, all that. And for everyone it's different. But I am going to teach you how to draw my way, at least for the way that I draw creatures and such. And I will try to show you guys different shapes and different beings to draw, even inanimate objects we'll try. And I do want to make this a series because it's a lot to do in one video. So let's get started on drawing a person. Alright guys, so I'm pretty sure that I have the camera anchored so that you guys can see. I'm going to move the paper over a little bit while still giving me the leeway to draw. Okay, so most people, so how I draw. When I draw the face first. When I'm drawing on the computer, of course, I'll draw the shape of the head, and then I'll go to the hair, and then I'll go to the eyes and nose, and then from the face down. But truth be told, a better way is to draw the entire thing in shapes first, because art is all about shapes. So I'm going to teach you that way, so bear with me. It's been a while since I've drawn on an actual sketch pad, so it's obviously good to make sure that your pencil is nice and sharp. It just gives a better edge. So you're going to want to start with light strokes. Now, when making these strokes, you don't want to press too hard because if you draw over that and you want to erase it, you don't want it to show up on like very hard on the image you were trying to make. So if you were to press too hard and try to erase it, you would still see it and it would kind of ruin your drawing. So when we go to the shape of the head, you have to think about what shape you want the head to be. Usually for people, it's either a roundish circle shape or it is a oval shape, almost like almond shape. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start by lightly brushing a parentheses. See, 2 little parentheses, and I'm not brushing too hard. For the top of the head is not really an issue unless the person is bald, but we're gonna have hair on this one, so I'm gonna give it a more flatter, almost round, but still a little bit of a flatter edge instead of a full-on round circle. And then as for the chin, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let it point. It's gonna be a long chin. Now I got more of a oval shaped head. So now that we got the head, we are going to try a neck. You're gonna want to have the neck symmetrical. See, I kind of messed up there. I kind of let it go over the face, but since I didn't draw too hard, once I erase it, it's not there anymore. So that's pretty good. So the neck, you kind of want symmetrical to the head as best you can. You know, no one's perfect at art, and neither am I. But, so now we are going to figure out what the torso is made out of. Okay, so let us see here. We're going to make the shoulders. And of course the shoulders are kind of round, and we're gonna make the shoulders. See, I made them uneven, so that's my fault. Let's see, we're gonna make it more rounded. Perfect. Now they're symmetrical. And this is just a stickler for me. Usually you want to add the details afterward, but I'm gonna add in the little edges of the neck. That's me. So now, instead of making arms that stretch out, here's what I'm gonna do. Since I am making a creature, let's see, what do I want here? I'm gonna make lines that go out. Okay, so 2 little antennas, and then we're gonna make them sharper. And we're gonna give them a nice long sharpness to them, almost like scythes. And then we're gonna make the point. Right up to there to make it sure that it's even. Now I am going to start making the line that goes to the center of the torso. Now, before I meet them in the middle, I am going to make a roundness to it, and I'm going to close that off with 2 little parenthesis shapes of my own. Now, I want this to be like a very long dress or cloak. So, here's what I'm gonna do. 2 long lines, and I mean long, to where we go from straight to they kind of branch out a bit towards the bottom. I know, guys, that I said I was gonna draw a person, and technically this is a person, but you know, I'm so used to drawing monsters, this is just how I do it. I will definitely show you how to make a normal looking human after this. So, my apologies if I misled you. So, we're gonna make sure that evens out a little more so that it matches with that, and then we are going to make little wavy bumps. My bumps, 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 my lovely, lovely bumps. If you guys know what I'm talking about, you're awesome. I don't know why that song's been stuck in my head, but the Black Eyed Peas, that's one of their catchiest songs ever. Alright. Okay. Now, wait, what are the arms? Does this thing have any arms? Well, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make two little slant ways that go out. And see, this is where I get myself sometimes because it's not all the way even. There's a little bit of edging here that I need. So if I erase this, which it's no big deal if I have to erase it, just make it out a little more. Give it a little more space. And then it's more even, and then, see, we take that, and there we go. Now, we want the arms to be of equal length, and if you wanted to, you could make like a very, very light line just for you to see if it is even enough, which it's just about. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, and we're gonna make more of those little bumps. Okay, now that we got the shapes, let's start creating this masterpiece. So I'm gonna build the hair. Now, how do I want the hair? So I'm going to start with lines that go past this just a little bit. To where it goes a little bit here, and same thing with this. We don't want it touching the head just yet. Okay. Now, let's see. I think I'm gonna want to give this a little point at the top of her head, and then from the inside outline, give her like a little crown shape. So how I see it is it's going like a little curtain on her head. Alright, so now that we have the hair recognized, we can start erasing the head part, because we do not need that. Unless her hair is see-through, you want to make sure that there is less of the head visible than there originally was. Even this is a little difficult, but that's fine. If you erase a little bit of the hair at the bottom, that's perfectly fine. We can easily go over that again. Now, the texture of the head. And one great thing about having hair like this is that if she has normal kind of ears, you can use that to kind of mask them so you don't have to draw them. So obviously her hair is textured into like straight lines. Okay. And they all start to meet up at the top, okay? And so we're going to put this squiggly little line towards the center of her head, and we are going to fill in these blank spots with lines. There we go. If you shade it in good enough, which once you create the official outline, you can get darker with the shades if you so please, but we can cover up the shoulders here without having to erase them. Now, eyes are very... It depends on how you want them. So, for me, I'm going to keep the eyes closed and just have them be like this, slanted. And I am going to have one big one here. So there's an eye in the center of her forehead, the nose, two little slant ways, and then we just put them across. Now there are many different nose shapes you can do, but this is the one that I use most commonly. Now her mouth is going to be, I mean, you could go for the normal, just simple, just like that. If you wanted to make more detailed lips, you could, of course. And let's see if here, let's see. Make sure that I have that going. So like a gemstone in the center of her chest. Now, as for the texture down here, she has a flowing gown, so we are going to make the lines connect down to the edges of these little ruffles here. And they're gonna go from an upward scale. All right, here we go. Good. There we go. Now her flowing gown has texture to it. And of course, same with her sleeves. We are going to make the lines connected to the edges of the little bubbles here. Alright guys, so that's my little witch here. Now, time to make an actual human being. So let's make the head. Remember the parentheses? We're gonna make an almond-shaped kind of head with a little bit of round at the bottom for the chin. Now, we're gonna make the neck. He's got a bit of a wide neck. Now, the torso. Let's make the torso. It's going to be like a little bit of a heart shape, except it's going to be round at the bottom, not pointed. because this is where the shoulders go and this is where the waist is at. And if it's a little slanted, I'm sorry, I'm kind of drawing at an angle here. But next we're going to make the arms, and we're just going to have them straight down. So right now they're little stick figure arms, which is fine. So all you have to do is make 2 little inward slants like so. And depending on how thick you want the arms is how long you want your slant to be. He's going to have skinny arms. And then back up to the torso. So as you can see what I was talking about, the shapes we're using. So we have an oval here, we have a heart shape here, we have 2 rectangles here to make the arms, and we are going to do the same thing for the legs, and we're gonna make him a little tall. And same thing with the arms. Here's what you're going to want to do. Make the 2 little inward slants. And because he has skinny arms, obviously you want him to have skinny legs as well. Symmetry. So then we're going to put it right up. Now, how you want the center to match? Because he is a man, I say we do like a little bit like that. And then eventually, if you so incline, you can make the creases of his pants there. That is totally up to you. And as for his feet. Now, if you want him to have shoes, we're gonna stick with shoes for now because feet and hands, I gotta admit, they do me in. I think they spell doom for a lot of artists. So, we are going to give him some pointed shoes, and they're going to be going forward. I don't know why I'm speaking in an accent, but it's just me. Okay, now that we got the overall vibe of our man, I'm honestly dreading this part because I like to save hands for last. Okay, so let's make the mitten shape first. Yeah, we'll make the mitten shape. Let's see if that helps, because I gotta admit, no matter what I do, it seems like hands, they fuck me up. They really do. Okay, so he's got, it almost looks like he has claws right now, so just bear with me. So then we take our light lines and we make the fingers. And give him the fingernails. It's not all the way accurate because one finger is obviously fatter than the rest. So here's what you do. You make that thinner, and obviously you make the thumb just like so. And you're gonna do the same thing for the other one. See, once again, one of the fingers is fatter than the other. Honestly, if I were God, I would definitely mess fingers up with my humans. So Adam would look very, very different. So that is my take on the hands. I didn't do the best job, because usually on the computer, like, I can do this as many times and, you know, eventually it comes out good, but I struggle with the hands and I struggle with feet, honestly, because I'm gonna do feet real quick. Let's see. So we're gonna make long ways, and we're gonna make little ruffles. Obviously one big ruffle for the big toe, and then we are going to round it off. And then we are going to do the fingernails. And see, I mess up, but let me see if I can't make it better. Let me see. If we extend the toes a little bit It looks a little better, but honestly, toes are another thing, especially if you wanted to add like the little ridges on the end to make them more realistic. So, I mean, that's Bigfoot right there. That's a Bigfoot trail. All right. So, now, what do I want his hair to look like? I'm going to have it trail off from the top of his head down. And like I said, you want it to be symmetrical. And it doesn't look exactly symmetrical, so let me see. I might mess up his hair. Let me see. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing here, but just bear with me, guys. Maybe I can make it look good. Bear with me, guys. Okay, that's an interesting way to do hair. Let me see if... Okay, I could probably fix this. Let me see. So here's what I'm doing. I'm going to add the texture. And I'm going to really texture it in, like, to make sure it's noted that it is dark. And, okay. Now, we're going to add a little bit down here and let it go up. Same thing with over here, and we're going to let it go up. Now, okay, that's a little better. Okay, that was better than I thought it was gonna be, because I was like, damn, I fucked up already. See, there's a bit of an opening here, so if you want, we can add some spikes. Let's add some spikes. Interesting. Kind of looks like a woman for a minute, but let me see. Okay, so the eyes. Okay, so you can do eyes any way you choose. A lot of people go with either round or oval shaped eyes for humans. I'm gonna go with the almond shape because usually that's the kind that I do. And on the side of the head, now you're gonna make the parentheses around their eyes. Well, inside the eyes. And the iris, of course. You want the iris. Well, his eyes are kind of cockeyed. Let's see if I can't. Let me try to make them bigger and see if that works. It's a little better. As you can see, his eyes are a little... So, as you can see, I'm not the most perfect artist, but, you know, at least I'm teaching you how to draw a human. And the thing is, I'm not used to drawing humans. Usually I'm used to drawing like monsters and stuff, so that could be another reason why. The nose. Okay, so I drew the nose last time, very simple, 2 long side lines and 1 little upside down parenthesis. But I'm gonna try something different this time. So in the center of the eyes, so we're gonna do the same thing that we did last time, except we're gonna make whoop, boom. So he's got a little ridge in his nose. And let's make a smile. How about we make a smile? So we're gonna make a crescent moon shape that's upside down and a line in the center of that. And look, he's smiling. Now, what is he wearing? We're gonna make the neckline of whatever he's wearing. And I'm actually going to add like a little ridge to that. Here. Let's make whatever he's wearing a little button down. How cute. And then we're gonna make the line going through the buttons. Now, if you wanted, you could eliminate these lines to make it one shirt. Or you can make it like a button-down vest and just do this. Make like a little shadow almost to kind of hide the edges. Sometimes I do that. It gives them kind of like a cool, like, kind of look. Oh yeah, he's a guy. There's the Adam's apple. And if you wanted to add a little shadow to his neck, that is fine. There he is. So we got that, and if you wanted to make like little edges to like the creases of his arms, you could do that too. If you wanted to make like little lines where his shirt is tucked in, that is also a good thing. Like I said, if you wanted to, I don't know, this might look wrong, so, you know, avert your eyes if it starts to look wrong, but, the crease where his, you know, is. So, if that looks a little wrong, I apologize. So, we're gonna add some creases to where, I'm gonna assume that these are cheeks. And we're gonna add some creases to where they meet up at his feet. And that, guys, is my human. And I do apologize if it's not the most perfect looking person, but as I said, I'm not used to drawing people. Now, I wanted to go forth and try something else, so let's get a new piece of paper. So hands. Hands, oh, they screw me up so much. So, sometimes I take my hand and I just see how is it gonna look, so let me see. Okay, so what I did was I took the outline of what my hand would look like, made the edges, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4 fingers, and then of course where my thumb would be. So, we're going to round off my hands. They're big hands. Look, it's a detached hand. Now, of course, there's going to be a little bit of a crease to where the thumb is, because there is a bit of a crease. And of course, see where the little knuckles end up? So, I want to say, like, if you do little lines like that, it kind of gives them that interesting look. And then, of course, the little creases where the fingers in the center, you know, where the little ridges are. If you wanted to have some realism in there, you can do that. And of course, the fingernails. So the fingernails are a little bit rounded. Ooh, that's actually better than I thought. It's like the monkey's paw. Now, as for the thumbnail is going to be a little slanted. So there we go. So that's the creeped out version of my hand. But believe me, it's not always that easy. Hands, they screw me up, and so do feet. If I were to take my feet, it wouldn't look nearly as good. But I wanted to at least try to do a hand for you guys. Now, I want to try something else. So I want to draw a little fur creature. So I am thinking more of Kuribo from Yu-Gi-Oh! It is like one of the cutest creatures I've ever seen, although now it's starting to look like Haunter. You know what? Why not? Sometimes inspiration, you know, strikes me, and I kind of have to just go with it, you know? Go with it. And then it's got a little tail. So it's like a mix between a spirit and a fur baby. And then, of course, we're going to do the big, big eyes. And I mean like owl big. One of them may be different than the other, but sometimes, you know, it's hard to tell. If we want to make the eyes like Kuriboh, here's what you do. So you take on the middle and make a Pac-Man shape. Pac-Man shape, see? Or fortune cookie if you want. And you're gonna color that in quite dark. To show that there is some depth to them. Oh, it's so cute. It's a mix between a Haunter and a Kuriboh. It's a Haunteriboh. Okay, now if you want to make the little glare on the edge to where his eyes are so cute, there he is. Now, how are we gonna make his mouth? Kuriboh doesn't have a mouth, but Haunter does. So I say we do this. We're gonna do a compromise here. And we're gonna give him a little cat nose and maybe make some whiskers. Aww. And then where his belly is. So, he is cute and cuddly to a point, but eventually
he will eat your soul.
Oh, isn't it cute? Now, I remember this kid in school, he used to draw like Sonic the Hedgehog, which, you know, I tried to draw Sonic. I could never draw him. And really, I don't want to. I honestly don't, because, well, it's just too boring for me, if that makes sense. All right, so here's a little thing for you. Okay, so we're gonna do a square. Doesn't have to be the most perfect square there is. We're gonna do 2 eyes. And we're gonna put 2 big irises in them. Make the big long nose. I'm basically making Doodle Bob. So we gotta make the holes, and of course they gotta be somewhat dark because there is some shadowing involved here. You know, when I was little, I almost thought that SpongeBob was a piece of cheese, and every time I saw him, I would get hungry for cheese. Nightmare. Of course, where his pants are concerned, there is a little rectangle under bottom. Little triangle. Let's see, we're gonna make his little tie. I never understood why SpongeBob has a tie if he works at a fast food restaurant. You know, I never could understand that. And that's the only outfit he ever wears, so it's like, whoa. All right, 2 of these little shapes. His legs. 2 long pieces of rectangle. His shoes, which are very tiny. And then, of course, those same weird shapes on his arm. Very skinny arms. And this is where the hands are gonna fuck me up, guys. So we are going to, he only has 4 fingers. 4. So that's lucky. Now we're gonna try and make a fist. So we're gonna make the little bumps. We're gonna add some creases to them. And then what would he be holding in his hand that represents something that he really likes to do? Obviously, his spatula. Which if the spatula looks all... Okay, the spatula looks a bit fucked up, but you know what? And if we even wanted to add something that is, almost thought it was going to be a Krabby Patty, didn't you? You can already hear this picture, can't you? I should have drawn a net because that would have made more sense, but unless he's flipping flying Krabby Patties. And these are just, kelp fries. So that's my little drawing of SpongeBob. Alright, let us draw an inanimate object. So how about an apple? Okay, so we're gonna make a little dash. Make the little bumps. And it's gonna be round. Round. And we're gonna add 2 little bumps at the bottom. So it's gonna look like a tooth for a minute. We're gonna add the long stem. The little leaf, because that's usually a staple. And of course for lighting, see, look at that. It's a little apple. I mean, to me, it kind of looks like a pepper. If you wanted to make like apples like the actual Apple logo, I suppose you could make it like that where it goes inward, but see, it doesn't look all that good. One bite of the apple. Well, technically, if it was, let's see if we can't get the apple a little better. And then we wanted... So technically, if you wanted to make the Apple logo more accurate, there would be a bite taken out of it. Like that. Not like whatever that is. Pac-Man. I wonder if I could turn this into something. There we go. Now it looks a lot better. A nice little, let's see, let's add some designs to it. Little dots. There we go. Nice little worm. Alright guys, so how about we just try an eyeball? Okay. So making the perfect circle is difficult, but if you do it like this, it tends to work a lot better. See, that's not the most perfect circle, but it is a circle nonetheless. And we're gonna make another circle on the inside of that. Okay, so now we got two circles inside of each other. Now, we're gonna make the center, and in fact, we're gonna make the little outline around it so that it looks more realistic. And let's see, pretty simple really. Now, if you wanted to create like an eye with an eyelid, let's try that olive, why am I thinking olive? Almond shape again. So much like this, and if you wanted, here, we make the eyelid, just like that. The two little parentheses that meet with the eyelid. Now we're gonna actually do like more of a long iris. And if you wanted to make it a an eye with luscious eyelashes, why not? Let's beauty her up, girl. Oh, doesn't she look fantastic? Oh, she looks so beautiful. In fact, let's make some lips to go with this eye. See, we got kind of like a sad ba 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 ba. And let's see, we're gonna make it go down here where it kind of drags on for just a little bit, but it's not, there's no bumps at the bottom. If you have that in real life, that is probably not normal. So we're gonna make it big lips, big lips. Look at that, look at them big lips. And if you wanted to add, here, a tongue, we're going to erase that part of the lip and just add the little line that goes down a tongue. Let me see, what else can we do? I mean, little heart, and then it breaks. Oh, it's a broken heart. That's tragic. Let me see, what else can we do? Spiral, how about a spiral? Oh, I know what I can do. Here. So we have a nice little shell. Now, if we want to have a little snail out of it, so here, one of the eye stalks is going to be on the outside of the shape, while the other one is going to be close, but very close, but not in the shape. And since they've got just little black eyes. Oh, it's a little snail. It's almost like Gary. Meow. Little smile. Which, you want to know some simple things to draw? Let's get on the back of this. Okay. So, we're going to make a circle. Actually, we're going to do it on the top of the paper. Here. So. And it's going to be a completely round circle. Well, that wasn't exactly round. That was flat at the top. I wanted it to be more... But see, no matter how good of a drawer you are, you will always make mistakes. But the thing is, you can fix them. So then, we're going to do 2 dark almond shapes. Maybe one other circle, just... doesn't have to be perfect. And then... the smile is going to be a little dark, and then... the 2 little parentheses on the end to make it a very happy face. That is one of the simplest things that I can draw for you. Alright guys, so I tried to do a stick figure and turn it into a person, and it didn't work out. So, you know, it hit or miss. But, you know, a stick figure... how about we do this? So, that ain't even a perfect circle, but I don't care. We're going to make the stick figure... Now, we're at least going to give him some human-like figures. So, 2 little slants for the eyes, and then we're going to put 2 slants over them. We're going to do the nose, which is going to be normal. We're going to give him a kind of face. And you know why we're going to give him a face? Because someone didn't guess the right amount of letters. And we hung the man. Aw, ain't that sad? Look what you guys did. You hung the man. Now, this is one of the things that I drew a long time ago. It was actually a guardian that I planned to make. It was called the Angel of the Gate. So we got that, the sigil, other creatures that I have drawn. Just plans for guardians and whatnot. So I did try the witch from the original 1990 movie The Witches, and I think I did a pretty good job with her, although I didn't really get her entire body. And I've just tried some different things here and there. Like, I tried to draw like a beaker a few times. I drew the symbol of, what is her name? Panacea, the goddess of all cures. That, guys, is just a little bit of drawing that I wanted to show you because obviously my friend Cody wanted to learn how to draw, so I thought I would give you quite a few examples, which I believe I have. How to draw humans, how to draw creatures, how to draw little shapes here and there in order to make designs, even how to draw hands, which I got to admit was very difficult. But sometimes it's good to just look at your hands or your own features to draw things, and you can get a sense of shape in there. It's just all trial and error, guys. It's not hard once you get used to it. And I know there's a lot of people out there, I've met a lot of people who wanted to learn how to draw, and I may not be the best teacher, but you know, I would definitely be okay with trying to teach you guys this. And I do plan to make more videos about this in the future. So if there is something you want me to teach you how to draw, something that you always wanted to draw, I can't guarantee that I will be able to draw it, but I'll give it a shot and make a video about it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell button so you don't miss any of my future uploads. Please follow me on Twitter, and have a good day, everyone. Draw firmly and peacefully.